Well, hello there, I'm Détroit. We're drawing a Daruma in Photoshop today. I've had this idea for a while of drawing a Daruma like some sort of egg, then cracking it. I didn't know what would be inside that strangely angry looking egg until I drew it and found out it was another, even angrier Daruma. I could have kept the surprise for later, but it's actually in the title and the thumbnail of the video. This is a Russian nesting Daruma. Subscribe for more illogical drawing ideas. I'm sure you've seen this angry face before. It is part of Japanese iconography, but maybe you don't know what a Daruma is. Let me enlighten you if this is the case. First off, Daruma is the Japanese pronunciation for Dharma or Bodhidharma in Buddhism. I learned recently that Bodhidharma was a monk that supposedly stayed in the same meditative position for 150 years, during which his arms and legs rotted away, which is the origin of the shape of the Daruma. More realistically, the Daruma is a papier-mâché doll that acts like a charm, and even more than that, but more on that in a second. The Daruma can also be seen as the Japanese equivalent to a kulbuto, or a roly-poly toy. It's a round-bottomed doll, like the ones that can't fall. The Daruma isn't actually a proper charm. I don't think it's supposed to ward off the evil eye or bad spirits or something. No, it's actually a wishing thing, or more of a wish catalyst, I suppose. When you buy a Daruma doll, the eyes are actually empty, they are all white. What you are supposed to do then is fill one eye of the Daruma with a black ink pupil while you are mentally formulating a wish. Because that's the thing, the Daruma doesn't fulfill your wish, oh no. Instead, it looks at you angrily with its single eye from the shelf you put it on until you achieve your goal. Only when the wish is realized do you feel the other pupil. This is why I called it a wish catalyst instead of a charm. I really like this idea of wishing for something, but having to actively work for it to happen, instead of leaving it to fate or whatever. There is absolutely nothing behind throwing a coin in a fountain, but having that little guy look at you all the time, now that makes you want to do something about it. I have a Daruma myself, on a shelf in my apartment. Actually, I have 3 technically, not counting this drawing. I'll talk about them in a bit, but for now, let's focus on the drawing. Don't forget that this is a drawing video, alright? So today I wanted to draw in a minimalist style. Not like last week's spaceship, but better. Last week I was a bit rusty, but today I feel good. First thing about the process today, I started with blocking the shape of the Daruma. For that I used the circular lasso tool. I used it to make an ellipse that would be the main shape. With another ellipse at the bottom, I made the rounder part, which made the whole thing look like an egg. A bit later, I also clipped the top some more and I added the foot of the Daruma. Based on the shape I was left with, I could use a clipping mask to make sure the paint stayed in the shape. For the face of the Daruma, I drew it freehand, based on a reference I found on Google. The whole time, I only used a simple hard-run brush with full opacity. In that sense, the drawing is minimalist. Even the shadow near the foot, or around the face, is a simple cel shading-like touch. For the color palette, at first I wanted to go with orange and blue, which is my favorite color combination, but that felt too easy. Instead, I wanted to challenge myself and handpick colors that go well together, but that I rarely used. I picked yellow for the Daruma and purple for the background. This picture is basically the Wario/Waluigi couple. It's a great color combination, but you don't see it too often, I think. It's a bit strange. For the second Daruma, the one inside the other, Russian nesting doll style, I decided to go with the dark desaturated blue. Before drawing it, I knew I wanted to have the outer shell cracked like an egg, and at least one eye visible. I didn't want to show the hole in a doll, so I focused my drawing on a single eye and half of the face. Maybe it's just being smart and efficient, maybe it's just laziness. It's often the same thing, you know? If I ever feel like it, maybe I will draw a complete second Daruma, and maybe even a third, fourth, etc. Check out my Instagram, I might do that eventually. The second doll I drew on a copy of the first layers, so then I could simply put the first one back on top and use a mask to hide parts of it to give it the cracked look. To finish the drawing, I used a bunch of effects, like inner and outer glow, to make the second Daruma strange and exciting, but you won't see it quite yet. That will be near the end of the video. I still want to talk a bit about my own Darumas. The first Daruma I own is this one, that usually sits on my shelf. As you can see, I filled one pupil and I now need to work on that goal of mine. This is a proper Daruma doll that I bought in a temple in Kyoto, if I remember correctly, back when I lived in Japan for 4 months in 2019. After that comes this little baby. This small Daruma is a metallic bell. I wanted it for my keychain, but since it's a bell, the sound got quite annoying really early on, so instead it's on the side of a window. The last Daruma I have, I can't show it to you because it's on my skin. I have a tattoo of a one-eyed Daruma on my arm, so that makes 3 in total. With these new ones I just drew, that makes 5, or 4.5 maybe. I really like the idea of the Daruma, as well as the face and the object that it is. It's a really cool design in my opinion. Tell me if you would like to see more Japanese iconography drawings, this one was very fun to do. And if you want me to draw something completely different, tell me what in the comments. I love picking from your drawing ideas. Subscribe for regular art and art-related topics, and follow me on my social media. I have open slots for commissions, so you can DM me if you want to know more. I'm Detroit, and I'm not a weeb, I swear. Bye!